Hi, it's T with Teaquilts, and today is Saturday, November 13th, 2021. It is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're here with live sewing chat. So we're going to wait for people to come into the room. I did get in about a minute early, and I wanted to also pull you all up on my cell. All right. So it's been a real long day for me, so I'm kind of tired, really wanting a nap, but that's not going to happen. So we will proceed forward. Ouch, just stuck myself with the needle. And I'm going to take this off the charger for right now, just so I can sit this in here. So thank you guys for coming today. Our project today is going to be GE Designs Phoenix quilt that they did last Saturday as a sew along. I did not do it last Saturday. I actually cut it on Sunday and started making my blocks. And I needed to lay my rows out, which I never did. I tried to do it outside on my deck, but it was so windy outside, so I couldn't do it out there. So I had to just use the limited space I had. Couldn't lay out. I made 6 rows instead of 4 that she showed in the video. I made 6. And so I still got 2 more rows I need to lay out because I just didn't have room. So hoping that trying to spread the fabrics out work here. If it don't, it's okay too. I do like the block, so we'll be talking about that later. Just wanted to say at the top part of the video what we're working on today. So let me read some comments from people who are here. We got Vivian Calvey saying hi T and everyone. Jackie K, hello from snowy and wet Brantford, Ontario. Been busy last couple of live shows, but caught replay. So hi Jackie, thank you and welcome back. Darlene Crosby says hi TNT Quilters. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. Linda Fusi says hello T and everyone. C-Rex, hello everyone from Houston. Carla Ford, good evening T and fellow quilters. Hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday evening. Here for the fun says hello T and friends, happy to join in. Hello T, hope everyone is staying warm tonight from Connie. Barbara Polk says hi to all. Maxie Doodle says hi T, good evening everyone. Tiffany's Quilting Life, hi Mrs. T. Waving says hi friends, waving. Hi Tiffany and Scott. Deborah Sims Brown says hi T and everyone from Maryland. Kevin the Quilter, there's my friend Miss T. Evening Miss T and all T Quilters. Hey Kevin. Yeah, I did talk to you today. I'm like, did I talk to you today? Like, yes, I did. Maria Quarterman says, good evening T and Quilters from Ellabelle, Georgia. Hello, Maria. Connie says, T, my presser arrived today. Thank you. No, thank you for ordering. Appreciate that. And I'm glad it arrived. Wash Your Hands says, hi, TNT Quilters. I didn't get a nap either. Too much sewing to do. Yeah. I had a long day. I'll talk a little bit about it. Judy says, hello, T and Quilters. Kathy Klein says, hello from Central Illinois. June Hansen, hi, T. In all, I think is what she's trying to say. Or etc. Bonita Nan says, hey, Miss T. And everyone finished the southern region of all Carolina shop hop now to win a prize. Yes, girl, go on with your bad self. I hope you had fun with that. I know I enjoyed the one that Kevin and I did in Iowa. So I hope you enjoyed it. Darcy Savali says, hi T and all quilters. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. We got a little snow today. Remember to give Tia a thumbs up. Well, thank you, Darcy. And I'm glad you got snow and we didn't. But it's been cold here. We've been in the 30s at night. So that's we went pretty fast downhill. Hi T and T Quilters from Francis Jackson. Diane 57 says she's spooling here, got to restart. So hopefully it's your system, not mine. I'm hoping. Hopefully, because I'm the one that's, the head recorder here. I don't see where I'm spooling so far. And Tiffany is welcoming everyone joining live. Don't forget to give Tia a thumbs up. Thank you, Tiffany. And for right now, I will pin this comment so she doesn't have to keep typing it until I remove it. Pin message. Appreciate that, Tiffany. And she's saying Scott says hi back. Mary is here saying good evening. Elizabeth Hewitt says hi T from Knoxville, Tennessee. Hi Elizabeth, and welcome to the channel or welcome to the live chat. Appreciate you popping in a comment. Ellen Campbell says hello T Quilts and all T Quilters. Hi Ellen. Teresa McCormick. Hello, Miss T and fellow T Quilters. We got a dusting of snow this afternoon, and here we go. Oh, wow. So you got snow, too. And Diane saying it was her system. Okay, Diane. Thank you. Quilt Gal says, hi, T and everyone from rainy Maryland. Claudette Bettis says, hello, T and everyone. And I think that is it for right now. I'm sure more are going to be coming in. Again, for those that are just coming in, I am working on blocks. This is one of my rows. I haven't sewed any rows, although this just says row 3. I don't care what order I sew my rows in because they all got to get sewed anyway. But this is my block for the GE Design Phoenix quilt that they did as a sew-along last Saturday. I didn't start until Sunday. I worked on this in the Zoom that we had on Sunday. And I finally got a chance to lay the blocks out. So this week's been really busy. I have been trying to not clean, but put up some of my stuff because I had my small quilting group. They came today. And when the quilting group comes to your house, it's 6 of us and we rotate each month to each other's home. And when they come to your house, we provide some sort of lunch, and you can do whatever you want. If you want to order food in or if you want to take everybody out. I tend to just make something because it's just easier for me to make something. It's not that it's necessarily cheaper because we all know that sometimes you can eat like Subway or even Burger King or whatever you want to do, Chinese buffet. It's cheaper than buying ingredients to make stuff. But once I'm done cleaning and all of that, I don't feel like driving folks around so we can go eat. So I tend to just go ahead and make something at home. The great thing was that I made my soup on Sunday or Monday. I can't remember which day. And then I froze it. And so today I just had to slow cook it to get it to thaw. I took it out of the freezer yesterday and it was still like half frozen today. So I guess we don't go on our refrigerator enough. But, and then just made salad. I made a vegetable salad and then I also made a fruit salad. So that was what we had. They were here, I'm going to say from 10 a.m. to, I don't even know what time they left. Let's just say 4. And I wanted to take a nap so bad, but I had some stuff I needed to do. So I did that. And looked up, it was 7 o'clock, and I go, oh wow, I gotta go lay some blocks out so I can sew some of this. So I still got 2 rows I haven't even laid out yet on this quilt. So hopefully the plan works. I can mix it up enough. If something isn't close, I don't think I have a problem where something will touch. But if it do, I'm okay with that. And if it's close, I'm okay with that too. But I use I think in her pattern, she said to use 8 fat quarters for 24 blocks. But I use 18 fat quarters for 36 blocks. And I'm telling you, I don't have much fabric left from those fat quarters either. So these are big blocks. They take up a good chunk of the material, and they're simple blocks. And then there's actually, don't let this deceive you into thinking that this is the only block. There's actually 4 different blocks based on how you lay the pattern out. So I had to do 4 sets of blocks, and then I had to do sashings for them as well. So I am going to work on that tonight. So let's see who else has come in. Okay. Damali J says, hi, Teaquilters. And Sue is here, says, thumbs up, please, people. Good evening, T and fellow quilters. Yes, ma'am. It's cold here. Yes, it is. And it happened fast. I didn't even go outside yesterday. My husband ran to the grocery store for me. I was just going to get like sherbet ice cream to give them for dessert. Do you know they don't even have sherbet in the grocery store? It's amazing to me what we're having a shortage of. And I know some of it could be transportation. Some of it could be because of certain supplies that they can't get due to transportation, maybe. I don't know. But it's just weird to me, the things that are missing when you go into the grocery store. But yeah, it got cold fast. French Seams is here saying, hello to all the Teaquilters just listening tonight while finishing up my November blocks. Yes. She's talking about her November blocks from the 4-star General, I'm assuming. Deborah says, I am sewing my rows on my Phoenix also. Great. I'm not the only one. And Deborah Quilts is here, says, hello, T and all Teaquilters. And I got to see Deborah Quilts today. She was at the meeting. Angela Morgan says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Angela. Welcome to the channel. I don't remember the last name Morgan, but appreciate you popping something in the chat box. Craft with Love says, greetings, T and all. It's very cold here in Virginia. Please keep me and my husband and your family in prayer. My husband's sister died, and my first cousin 4 days apart. It's been very hard on us. Oh my gosh, that is so awful, awful. And I'm just praying for you guys. We'll be sending you all prayers. And also, I don't want you to say anything now, but I sent you an email a couple days ago. So check your email and respond to me via email, please. I appreciate that. That's for Craft with Love. T. Roberts says, good evening, all. Hi, and welcome. Vicky Lemire saying hello. People are sending prayers to Craft with Love, which is Larissa. Dolores Felt says, hi, T and all quilters. Cold here in Olathe, Kansas. Also, Darcy sending prayers. Vicky. Darlene saying it's cold here too in South Carolina. Wow. It just came fast. And Vicky saying it's snowing where she is. It's white outside. Ellen sending her love too. And so is Benita. So you all are so sweet. So thank you all so much. Maria Quarterman. And she says, thanks all for your prayers. We need them. Yes, you do. All right. Carla Ford also sending prayers. So I have laid these blocks out. Like I said, I have sashing and I have rows. And I just, on the top of it, I got the row. And then I just go straight to numbers. I don't even worry about what row it is. I used to put row 1, block 2. So R1, B2, or R1-2. And I'm only going to take one row apart at a time because I'm in the live and I don't want any trouble. So I just need numbers. I know I'm on row number 3. It's at the top. So I am just going to be sewing these rows together as I'm talking, and now I want to move this so I can see it, hopefully, as I'm doing this. And we're still getting lots of prayers for Craft with Love. So you all are sweet. Thank you so much for that. Ellen is asking about the Missouri Star um, quilt shop bus trip. If you are going to retreat, you have already been signed up for the bus trip. So you don't need to worry about registration. You don't have to pay, send any deposits. Your retreat payment has taken care of your Missouri Star bus trip fee. It was included. So you don't have to worry about that. The reason why I have signed up in the Teaquilts Facebook group for the bus trip is for people who are not attending retreat. And we have 26 people that can attend retreat. However, we have 56 seats on the bus. So if I had 26 people pay for 56, even 52 seats, that means that everybody at retreat would have had to pay $150 a piece to go on the Missouri Star bus trip. And I did not want to be caravanning 4 hours to and from. And if something should happen, in one of the vehicles or something, I didn't want that responsibility. So that's why I got a chartered bus. What the chartered bus is doing, I opened it up to other Missourians, or mostly St. Louisans, who live in this area, so that I could fill that bus so that the retreat people didn't have to pay the total bus fare by themselves. And that was because the bus trip went up a little bit because of COVID and changes to how they have to clean and stuff like that. Gas is expensive. And I was trying to make sure that we had that bus filled so I wouldn't have to bump your retreat price up more. So that's where that is coming from. But we have so many people coming. Since we went from 18 to 26, I decided to go ahead and add the Missouri Star bus trip onto the retreat agenda because we had so many people coming from out of town. St. Louis people, for the most part, we'll go to Missouri Star. We'll just plan a day, go with our friends in the car. Matter of fact, some of the people that are on the bus are planning it as a group, and they're just individually signing up. But I know that they are a part of a group. So it's going to be a great trip. I was just trying to fill the bus. That's all that is. So if you're scheduled for a retreat, your spot's already on that bus. Okay, Larissa, I see your comment. Helen Campbell talking about thank you, Jesus. uh, and Sue says, I thought hiring a bus was a brilliant idea. Yeah, so I can sit back and sleep. Because knowing me, I will probably be up all night sewing or doing something, preparing, because it just depends on what time it is, because we got people coming in that day on Tuesday, the day before, and then we're going right back out on Wednesday. And I wanted to just go ahead and get that bus trip out the way. I didn't want to be delaying that in the middle of retreat and then us having to stop what we were doing and go on a bus trip. I figured, hey, let's go ahead and get this bus trip done, get it over and done with. But it's going to be the day after I'm doing all the initial setup for a retreat. So I'm going to be tired. So I don't know if I'm even going to go to sleep. I may just plan to try to sleep on the bus or something. I don't know. So we'll see how that works. Just depends on the plans and what's going on. That was another reason that I asked Deborah to be my assistant too. I was just glad she was able to come to retreat and do that because it's going to give me a little break when I need it as well. My brother is here. Hey, sir. He says, hi, sis, and everyone. I hope you all are staying safe. Cassavel says, hello, T and friends. Greetings from Germany. Hello. Welcome back. I think you've been here before. Teresa says, love and prayers to you, Larissa. It's been a lot more. I just happened to read that one, but they're all there, and I'm sure she's reading them. Sharon Lewis says, hi, T and everyone from Washington, D.C. And Dora Camarina says, hi, T and friends from California. Hey, Dora. So, yeah. So, I have been getting registrations for retreat this week. The one thing I did not do today because I had the girls here and the post office that I use closed today at 3 or 3:30. I can't remember which one, but I always make sure I go before 3. But the ladies were here and I did not get a chance to go to the post office and pick up any final retreat registrations. However, they do have a couple hours tomorrow that they're going to be open. So I'll go up tomorrow and check the post, pick up any retreat registration. So I know I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know I got at least 5. I can't remember for sure, but at least 5 more came in. So I think I was only waiting for confirmation from 10 people. So they are coming in. So and I haven't checked emails. If you've been emailing me, I've just been most of the time I don't even check emails when I'm on my phone. I'll send an email sometimes, like a short one. But if I got to do a lot of typing, I just wait until I'm at my desktop the next time. So I don't even read all emails sometimes. So I try to get rid of all the junk because I get like about 400 emails a day, seems like. Seems like they don't stop coming. And so I try to get rid of the junk so when I do get to my desktop, I'm not having to deal with the other stuff. So you guys tell me what it is. I know some of you all have said what you're working on, but if you haven't, let me know what you're working on. Maybe you're taking a break today. Let me know that too, because I need a break. I do want to sew. But yeah, I got to also find some fat quarters that I have for a challenge. My small group, I gave out these fat quarter bundle. No, not a fat quarter. It was a charm pack and a mini charm pack. It's the same charm pack I gave to them in 2017. We were supposed to then finish something by Christmas and have it. I gave it to them at Christmas. No, we were supposed to have something by retreat of 2018 finished with those. None of us have done it. Okay? So we have reset it up as a challenge to bring to our next May retreat. So that's what's going on with that. But I'm the one that gave the charm packs, and I can't find the charm pack. So I got to find, well, let me back up. I have not looked for the charm packs. I know where my charm packs are, but I'm not sure if I would have put those charm packs up. They would be behind you guys on this shelf. You all are sitting on a bookshelf. But I don't think I would have put those in there because they are a challenge and I wouldn't have wanted to use them somewhere else. So I've got to go find where that other place is. I do have some other stuff where I have like gifts, and I'm thinking that maybe I left mine in a gift box. I tend to buy stuff when I find reasonable things on sale sometimes, and then I'll just put them aside for when Christmas or birthdays come up. So I'm thinking maybe mine's is still in that container. So I'm hoping that's going to be the first place I look. So, um, Diane says, did the ladies bring you a hostess gift tea? Nope. We never take hostess gifts. We all know that we're basically going to have lunch with the group once a month. We sometimes will bring our sewing machines. One person did some cross stitch, or not the cross stitch, some embroidery in a hoop. She had a round hoop. And then one person had her sewing machine, and the rest of us were just talking. And I never sew at my house because when you're the hostess, you're getting people drinks, water, moving around. And when it's finally time for me to sit, I'm glad to just sit. But I talk. And then we had a big meeting because we had to talk about some of those ladies are going to be at retreat. So you all will get to meet them. Everybody but one now is coming to retreat. So I was pleasantly surprised um, that they are supporting the Teaquilts retreat. That's really awesome. And the other person just can't get off work for that many days. When you are working, I got to remember that everybody in my group is not retired. And so when you're working, I do know that 5 days, almost a week off work is a lot in order to attend this retreat. So I do understand that, especially if you only get 2 weeks vacation a year and you've got to plan your family vacations and other things that come up when you need a day off here and there. So I do understand that when you're working. This just works for me overall, and it overall works for people who are mostly retired. I'll go ahead and say that. Or people that get more, have more vacation. When I finally quit working, I was getting like 4.5 weeks vacation a year. So I loved it. And I would take advantage of it. Every time I took off, it was quilt related. So, yeah. Hi, Phyllis G. She says, hi, T and everyone. And Darlene says, I'm on break, not able to sit and sew. Okay, so that's cool. June says, I'm painting on my log cabin quilt I got done. That's pretty cool. I'm thinking she's getting it ready for quilting. I have been working on my sewing machine, trying to set my speed control to do a quilt. That's awesome. She got a new machine. That's pretty cool. That's Ellen. Sue says, it's deer season in Missouri, which means that I will have from now to Thanksgiving to do December blocks and catch up on the border blocks. Okay. So that'll be good. She'll get caught up. I've seen 2 of her blocks. So she just got to do December and then the borders. Diane says, it must be a strong shelf. She's laughing. I said, you all are on the shelf. That's right. It's holding 78 so far. Darcy says, I'm just starting back up now since my stitches are healed up enough. I have to put binding on 3 different quilts. And that's another thing. I have a stack of quilts that need binding. I showed them today to the girls, too, because they had never seen them at all. T says, wish I was sewing, but preparing for a champagne toast for my daughter. New realtor, and had her first closing yesterday. It's a surprise. Now, that is awesome. So that's pretty cool. That is cool. Great success for her. Virgie saying hello, T, and everyone. Ashley Scott says, hello, doing a little quilting before we leave for Jamaica tomorrow. We'll have a lot of fun. I got one lady doing a Mediterranean cruise, and it's like 3 weeks. And that's a long time. It's like I want to go so bad, but I think I would go crazy on a cruise for 3 weeks. I have never been on a cruise that long. I do love them, but I don't know if I could do 3 weeks, though. That's a long, long time. Linda DeVito says, hi, T and everyone. Welcome from Beverly Hills, Florida. Claudette's working on Christmas quilt for my daughter. That's cool. Teresa says, I typed the same question twice. It has disappeared both times. Do I dare go for the trifecta? Well, we read this one. I don't think I've seen them. Have I missed it? Bonita says, Miss T, have you heard of the Anova long arm? If so, do you have an opinion? Thanks. I have heard of the Anova long arm. I don't have an opinion of it. My only concern, and I hope that you get a chance to sew on the Anova. I personally don't recommend buying a long arm quilting machine unless you can stitch on it while it's on the frame that they recommend you use. And the reason why I say that is because you don't want a machine that vibrates a lot. So sometimes it's not just the machine, it's also the frame that it's going to be on as well. So if you can find somewhere that has the machine and the frame that you're talking about, that's what I would recommend. I feel like a Nova is a very great long arm system. I don't have any qualms with it. I just want to make sure that I'm not, when I'm quilting, that I'm not going to have this going on the whole time. And sometimes it can be very subtle where you don't see it because you're moving the thing, your arms around, and you don't get to see it. But I know when I tested long arm machines that a lot of them were vibrating at a lot of the trade shows. And I figure if you come to a trade show and you can't put down mats or stuff to make your machine not vibrate, I don't want it. So you're the expert. If you can't figure out how to keep it from vibrating, why am I going to be trying to do that? So that's all that I would recommend. But I think a Nova brand is great. Diane says, I need to quilt some quilts I have already. Yep, me too. But I'm still making tops. And Diane says, I have never been on a cruise. Now, I know that we've had, with COVID, we had a problem with the cruise line. So I'm not 100% comfortable with stepping back on one 100% today. But before COVID, I would recommend that everybody take a cruise. Cruise, it's nice. It's kind of spooky your first time if you haven't been on a cruise. You wonder, how do the people know that you're in and out of your room? Because I was taking like 3 and 4 showers a day depending on what I was doing. And it seems like every time I came back, one time I had got all the way to the restaurant, the dining room, realized I had left something and went back to my room, and my room was already cleaned and they had new fresh towels and everything in there. So it's amazing to me how they keep track of when and how to clean rooms. Don't ask me how, because it spooked me out the first time. And then I was like, you know what? This is only day number 1. We got a long way to go. So you need to just get over that. So I did. But, after that little incident, it was like, I just enjoyed the cruise. Everything is taken care of. You don't have to worry about, well, except for like if you drink, but all of your food's taken care of. You're just there to have fun. You go wherever, do whatever. So I think every person should take at least one cruise just to be pampered. So I enjoyed it. I've taken 2 so far. Carla says, I'm working on my border blocks for 4-star generals quilt. Yes. Ellen says, I have about 21 quilt tops that needs quilting. Yep, they add up quick. I know I'm in I probably had about 50 at one point, like before 2020, and I tried to get some of those done last year, which I did, but now I'm back in the process of making more quilt tops instead of finishing anything. That's because every time I finish a quilt top, it seems like I get a whole lot of customer requests for quilting. So you are lucky to be going on the trip, Ellen. I am happy for you. That's Dora. Sue says, so close as I have been to a cruise is a float trip on the Merrimack. Girl, I've been on a float trip on the Merrimack. I'm not doing that again. Canoeing, I do not like, because if you get stuck, you got to get out the boat, get wet, have stuff The mirror mat got all kind. It depends on if it's high or low. When I was in there, it was at average, a water level, and I had all kinds of stuff swarming all around my legs. I don't like that feeling. So, yeah, canoeing not for me. Especially if I gotta have a turn to get out and get us unstuck. So no. And I've been canoeing twice. The first time was like a short trip. And then the second time we were actually there all day for all day float trip where we took food to cook in one of the campsites and stuff like that in the middle of the float trip. And it was like maybe we had 3 hours of floating. We stopped for 2 hours to cook and eat, and then another 3 hours of floating. So yeah. The first one I think was like a 2 hour deal, the whole thing. It went pretty good. That all day one, that's when it was they talking about it's your turn. I'm like, what you talking about? What are you talking about? So yeah, I said then this would be my last float trip, and I have not been back. I did go onto the website for that alpaca pressing mat. And yes, I do realize that, the mats could be a little costly. But just like anything in quilting, if we want it, we figure out how to get it. I only pressed 2 of my blocks for the final press on the mat. I did not get an order, and the blocks pressed out really flat. So I think it is a great mat. It is going to be costly, though. I don't know how many of you all went to look at that alpaca pressing mat that I was sent as a gift for a review. So I did a review on it, or unboxing, shall I say. I did an unboxing on Wednesday. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can go there. She was also in the chat room, so she was able to answer some questions as well. I do like the mat. I haven't done extensive use of it yet because I haven't sold anything. Let me see. Wednesday. I have sold some stuff, but I can't show y'all. Yeah. I have sold some stuff. I just can't share it. Sometimes when I'm putting stuff up and cleaning, I have to come in here just to sew a few stitches just to keep myself sane. And I still got stuff everywhere, but it's always better every time I do some stuff. It's always better. So I do like that these ladies come to my house every 5-6 months, and because it makes you clean something up. So I had some stuff out that needed to be sorted. So all of that stuff got sorted. I'd say about 40% of it got put up. The other 60% I need to wrap fabric. I got it's stuff that I don't know what to do with yet, where it's going. The part of that other 60%. But at least it's all sorted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the stuff that's sorted, but I'm gonna go grab something else that needs to be sorted. Woo wee! Like I got all of those. I've been collecting the bags for Crown Royal bags, and so I've been trying to collect them all so I can wash them all at the same time. So I got so many now. I had 3 bags. I had a scrapbooking cart that I wasn't used. It was like a rolly cart or a tote. It's like a tote, rolly tote. So I just put all of that stuff inside of that tote. So at least it's all together somewhere. I just got stuff. I got to figure out, when you pull off stuff because you're trying to store stuff, trying to reorganize how you're sorting and you're not moving, you don't want to box everything up. It's difficult to have neatness while you're doing that kind of stuff. So I got 1 row done. Let's see. The Lord says, I am not sewing anything at the moment, just taking a break tonight. And that's fine. And that's what I said. Some of you might just be taking a break. If you are just getting here, make sure you give T a thumbs up. Thank you, Darcy. Ashley Scott says, I love the towel animals on cruises. Makes me feel like a big kid. Yes, and that's always cool to see what you're going to have when you come back. That's pretty cool. And every time, like I said, I was doing some days 3-4 showers a day, depending on what I was doing. And I come back and it was always a different animal. I never got the same animal. Make sure you give T. Make sure you take seasick pills with you. Laughing out loud. Yeah, I actually take motion sickness before I do the flight to catch my cruise, because I think what the main problem is for some people is you're flying and then going out into the ocean, and once you get out there, it's too late. You're gonna be sick, because that happened to me on my first cruise. The second time I took it before my flight started, and it helped. Now I don't normally have issues when I fly, but when you get out into the middle of the ocean and you haven't taken anything and you don't know if you're gonna get seasick, it's too late. I was sick for that whole first night, the first cruise I took. So Cynthia Shades here saying hello from Chicago. I am still sewing. I'm doing 2 of the 4-star generals too. Then I have more blocks that got to be put together. Yeah, so, yep. I just love piecing. I've told you all before, that's actually my favorite part of the quilt making process. I love creating and piecing the stuff. Sue says, in my younger days, I floated in Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. Really enjoyed it then, but now I'm not sure. Still can't swim. Wow. Now, see, I can swim, but I can't swim for endurance. Like, if you drop me in the middle of an ocean, I'm dead. I'll float as long as until something come and get me, I guess. Animal or survival crew. But I cannot swim for length. I have issues with my shoulder that don't allow me to do like strenuous stuff with the upper muscles. I can kick. That's about it. Cheryl Knuckles is here saying, hello, everyone. Also, Gloria Henry, same comment. Linda T, what are you working on? The fabric is very pretty. This is actually GE Designs Phoenix. She did a sew along last Saturday, and she has like maybe 4 parts. I can't remember now to this quilt. And so you can go look at those videos, see if you can figure out how to make it. She doesn't really give you measurements because she has a pattern that you can go download. So that's what I am working on. Again, it's called Phoenix by GE Designs. And this is one of my rows. You're not going to be able to see it all, but this is my row. So you can kind of see the chaining here going on with my print pieces. And I made more blocks. This is, I made more blocks because I tend to do square quilts on my queen bed. So I think they did 24 blocks, 4x6, and I'm doing a 6x6. So I made 36 blocks. But I used 18 fat quarters plus my background, in case somebody's interested. I wants to do my first t-shirt quilt in a Harley Davidson quilter t-shirt. Harley Davidson quilter t-shirt. I don't think I've seen Harley Davidson quilter t-shirt. I would like to have that shirt. So I'm going to have to Google that. And Tiffany says that she's in so much pain from 3 days of having yard sales, getting up and staying up and dealing with the crazies. 3 days worth and then take down. Yep. It's a lot of work. So you take care of yourself, Tiffany. I used the ear patch for seasickness on my cruise. And somebody else said that too, that they now got patches and stuff that you can put on. But I found that I just took one motion sickness pill. I didn't even take it the entire cruise. I just took it for that one episode before I flew, and then I was fine for the remainder of my trip. And I was on the ship for 4 days. Hi, David Pigman. He says, big thumbs up for T. My darling ventured forth and finally worked her first craft fair. She cranked big profits with her ideas and creativity. Sorry, I should have warned you. Proud hubby moment. So that is awesome. I'm glad she jumped right in there and did it too. I don't tend to do craft fairs too much. I guess if I was to do one, it would be one right before Christmas. But that's pretty cool. I do make some knick-knacky things, but I just don't have time to do that like earlier in the year, and then I look up and it's already too late. So I don't really do a whole lot of craft fairs, but eventually I am going to do one of those, I think. So that's pretty cool. David is something else. I hope no one thought I was calling T my wife. I'm just giving huge credit for her wondrous support to my wife, Lisa. That's funny. It's just they t-shirts. Okay, because I was getting ready to say, if they got a Harley Davidson quilter t-shirt, I'm going to have to buy that. I don't even ride on bikes. I've only had one bike ride in my entire life, and I was probably 17, 18 years old, something like that. But I do love the Harley Rumble, okay? I love the way they sound. There is none other like it. I don't know anything else about the bikes, but I just like how they sound. And Tiffany is saying, thanks y'all for the concerns and prayers. Well wishes. She'll rest up. Y'all know Tiff go hard and then she fall hard. So, but she'll be ready. She just know her body knows when she needs to take that break. So listen to it, and she'll be right back into it. But it is a lot of hard work. I was just looking at my dining area where we were today sewing. And I'm so sick of looking at my dining area because I wanted to get it done 2 years ago. And then here come COVID, raising the prices of all building materials. And so I've decided that I'm going to wait, to do that and see if, eventually some of these prices start going back down. But I want that room redone and the floors. And the flooring is what I'm concerned about because I want to redo the flooring in the kitchen and the dining room. They run into each other. So, yeah. So, we'll see if that ever happens. I'm sick of looking at the floor. And the crazy thing is in my dining room they have carpet, which is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Carpet in a dining area where you're eating. So, and that carpet bin need to come out. Well, there's, what's his name? That's from Kevin to David. I knew Kevin would be coming back when I said David Pigman. My siblings and I own a dirt bike as children. I love a bike. Now that's pretty cool. That is funny. Yeah, my brother Ray, he's in here. He was the creator of all of my fun for the most part. He had me jumping roofs, jumping from house to house. We jumped from one end of the house. Our house was like close to the end. We had a vacant house in between our house and the corner house was on the other street. So we were technically like the first house on the street. And we would jump the roof from our house all the way down to the corner house on people's roof, okay? And then he would also make, we had like, he would make, I guess they were like buggies or something, because he'd take a milk cart, open it up, make a seat, and then he used 2x4s and he'd make stuff, and then he'd take tricycle wheels and make back wheels and front wheels. And then he had it so that the front part you steered with your feet, so it was loose some kind of way. I don't know how he was creating all this stuff. The only problem is you needed to have somebody to push you, and you had to pray that once you push them all the way down the street and back, that they would give you your turn, okay? Sometimes you got your turn and sometimes you didn't. But I was glad that I was born under him, because he knew how to have a good time. Hey, Betsy, she says, hello, Miss T and friends. Sorry I'm late. I just finished watching Red Notice on Netflix. Good flick. I have to look at that. I haven't been on Netflix. I was watching Versailles, and I'm on the last season, probably the last 2 episodes. So I'll be looking for something to look at. So, Red Notice. And this is my pattern, so I'm trying to write it real light in pencil so I can erase it, because I don't have anything in here to write with. Betsy, I'm sewing on my Phoenix blocks. I still got 2 rows that I couldn't even lay out because I didn't have enough room. I'm making 6 rows instead of 4. Sorry, I'm back. I stepped away, T, so I could check the email and respond. Okay, great. So I'll be back on my computer tomorrow after I go to the post office. I think they open at 2:30 or something like that. It's just like they only open for a couple of hours. I have to check it and see. But sometimes I'll go to the post office on Sunday. Sometimes I don't. I used to go to the post office 24 hours and pick up my mail, but a month or so ago, they gave us notice that they were no longer going to have the post office doors open 24 hours. I guess they must have been having some vandalism going on. In not just my post office, but I'm finding out in a lot of post offices. So I don't know if they closed them all and only got like maybe major 1 or 2 places, because we've got like major drop points that have staff 24 hours, although the main part is closed. I'm thinking maybe the one in Florissant may be still available, but I don't want to change my P.O. box. So if I change my P.O. box, I probably could have access 24 hours again, but I'm not interested in that. So Betsy says it's a 2-hour movie with Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gail Gadot. Okay. And that's good too, because sometimes I need stuff that's not a series, because I'm so stupid. I'll sit up all night and watch the whole first season. Just being goofy. So I do need that, because I need to get some sleep tonight. Since I was up. For some reason, like I said, I'm a person that likes to work in the night. And so I did most of my moving and sorting and cleaning in the middle of the night. And I also like mopping in the middle of the night, because nobody can walk on your floor because they're asleep. It's over here. I'm feeling everywhere for the snippers. Wow, that sounds so familiar. We had an old cotton trailer frame that we used to push fast as we can and jump a ride. Our oldest brother would string wood. I don't know what that is. I think it's staring to something. I don't know. Um, thanks, Betsy. I can't wait to see yours. Send me a photo if you can lay it out so I can see it. I'd like to see yours. I sent Betsy an email telling her that she was my new trouble. That I wasn't even gonna do the Phoenix thing. And then she comes into the chat last Saturday and talking about, I just finished my Phoenix. So she finished it on the same day as the instructions came out. So that was pretty cool. Me, I had to find fabric, then cut the fabrics. So I'm doing it all in one day instead of pre-planning, but that's okay. I like it and I got it done. So thank you, Betsy. Cap says, I don't know what you are working on, T, but it's pretty, like the colors and the pattern designs. It's called Phoenix by GE Design, so you can look on YouTube for it. And she has a link if you want to buy the pattern. And I only have 4 of my 6 rows because I couldn't lay out all of them. So I'm going to just sew. I'm just sewing my 4th row now. So I'll just use my 4th row, lay it out, and lay out the other 2. And then I can get this finished. So, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. So this is actually my 2nd row that I've sewed, of 4 that's laid out. I got 6 total, but I don't care which order I sew the rows because I'm not sewing the rows together on here tonight anyway, because I'm going to my big press surface so I can press them all. So I think that's it. Well, let me see. I got a piece back here. That is not it. I got rows 9 through 11. 7, 8, and here's 9. Darlene says, T, is it a free pattern of good runs? No. It's a pattern. I think it's $10. You can do a download. However, an experienced quilter can watch the videos and know what you need to cut. She doesn't tell you play by play everything you're cutting, but if you watch the video and you know how to know, if you're having trouble with your 4-star generals, you may need to buy the pattern. If you are a quilter that can look at stuff and know what size something is, then you can do this without buying the pattern. And Betsy talking about happy to be an enabler. Oh, she was saying tongue. Okay. That was Ellen Campbell saying that. Okay. Hold on. My screen moved. Cheryl says, I take care of Mom, and if I move too much at night, she would think it was time to get up. And I do understand that. My husband sleeps through everything, honey. I'm the one when I see just having police lights, like when they're doing nightly runs or somebody is trying to get away from them, somebody called the police or something. If they happen to come down my street, I wake up because the little crack in the window, I can see the red light in my sleep. Okay, that's how bad I am with how light I sleep. And I'm all in the window trying to figure out what's going on, okay? So I do understand if you got somebody like that. Paula Smith saying hello from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Hello, Paula. Welcome. Joe Cornwall Perkins says, hello, Teaquilters. Very pretty quilt top. Thank you. And Tillis8 says, hello. I don't know why I can't catch you when you first get on. Sometimes you will not get notifications from YouTube, even if you hit the notification bell. Sometimes you have to redo it. I have no control over that. It's weird how it works. That's all I can say. Let me cut this piece so I don't forget that that's connected. And now we're on to row number 2. So I got 3 and 4 done. And again, these blocks may look like they're all the same, but it is a pattern to what's going on here. So it's simple, but it's not as simple as it looks. So you need to lay them out. You can't just sew this together. Especially if you only use 8 fabrics. Like I said, I used 18 fabrics. My fabrics are so close in value that you would never think it was 18 fabrics, but it is. Paula says, new quilter, but love to look at other quilters. That's pretty cool. That's how you learn. And Darlene says, laughing out loud, okay, T, I think I'll be fine. I'll take a look at her video. Thanks. Right. Kevin says, trust and believe. Miss T is a very light sleeper, laughing out loud. Yes, he is pretty funny. I know everything going on. And it's so funny because sometimes I hear stuff going on, especially when I'm like, I had a girlfriend, we went to New York, and I knew everything that was going on outside, inside, and it was like, it was hard for me to lay there and be quiet and not tell this girl what was going on, but she was knocked out. At one point, one of the nights, I had to wake her up because a rat was eating her M&Ms. We had went to the M&M factory, and if you all have ever been to the M&M factory, those are the most costly M&Ms you will ever eat in your life. And the rat was in the bag. I felt so bad for her. I had to wake her up then and tell her, girl, it's a rat. Oh, God, I am a light sleeper. That's all I can say. No matter how tired I am. The only time I sleep heavy is when I'm under some kind of medications. Thank you, Darcy. She's still reminding people to give Tia a thumbs up. Appreciate that. And Leata Bryant is saying hi to Kevin. And you're welcome, Paula. She's just saying thank you. T, it said that you was going to be live from Phoenix. That the notification I got. It says Teaquilts live. And then I just put Phoenix. I didn't say from Phoenix. I just said Phoenix. That is funny though. Oh gosh. Etty, did you finish Erica Jackman Tessa quilt? No, and that's another one that I have not pressed those rows. Ain't that something? I still got pieces back here that I need to press. No, I need to sew. But the rows that I sewed, I still have 2 rows that I never pressed. So I'm going to get those pressed. And then I'll go back to sewing more of those. But since I had done this, because I was trying to catch up with Betsy, I'm going to go ahead and finish this, get this into a quilt top so it can be done. And then I'll go back to working on my the Tessa quilt. It's called the Tessa quilt. Yeah, so Darlene said it, yeah. So no, I have not finished it. So it's still a work in progress. Robin Boyd, good evening, Miss T and everyone. Hello and welcome. Eric, oh, the rat where? He always comes in, or maybe he just waits. And when I say something off kilter, that's when he pops into the comments. I don't know, Eric. I'm wondering about you now. But a rat in any New York hotel, that's all I got to say. We were in the Best Western in Times Square, and we had a rat. We moved one room because the people upstairs in the room above us let the water in the tub run or the sink run, whatever, and it flooded our bathroom. We were gone all day and came into a hotel room that was soaked. So we had to call them. They put us in another room that night. We get into the next room, and it has a rat in it that has eaten my friend's M&Ms that cost $1 million. And so we, of course, go down in the middle of the night because, no, we waited till early that morning. We didn't go in the middle of the night because it was about maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning when this happened. So we go ahead and she's sleeping. I'm wide awake now, okay? Because I ain't going nowhere. They not getting my M&Ms. And I'm done with this. I'm done sleeping tonight. So I'm up just waiting on her to decide we can get up and get out this rat infested room, okay? So, yeah. So we go down to the front desk and tell them about our dilemma with the rat in the second. So we had one room. We moved to the second room with a rat. And then they tell us that they don't have any rooms vacant at that time because now it's getting closer to the weekend. We went in on a Thursday. So now it's Friday night. Of course, everything in New York is going to be booked on a Friday night. So they had to wait for somebody to check out and so that they could clean the room and save us a room. So we went on out into New York and did some touristy things. And we came back and they had another room for us, but it was one of the worst rooms they had. And, you know, from all three rooms that we went to, the room we had for 2 nights, because we had a rat in one and water in the other one. Water room was the best room. And the rat infested room was okay. And the third one was like, what in the heck are we doing? So, yeah, it was a New York. I had a great time, but I'll never forget New York, okay? And I will go back. I will go back. It's not that I won't go back. Tillis asks, are you all sewing too while you're on YouTube? Yeah, they're sewing in their sewing rooms, but they're listening to me, watching. Some of them on television, some of them got their phones so they can comment as well. So some of them watch on both devices. So yes, they're sewing and watching me and commenting. So we're all multitasking here. Don Cunningham says, hello, quilting friends. Hi, Don. Welcome. Sandra Agger sending her love. And let's see. Maddie Barnum says, hello, T and everyone. Hi, Maddie. And Sandra says, hello, everybody. Susan Baker, hi, T and all. Finally, another live. Hi, Susan. Welcome to the chat room. Benita, good night, all. Early rise tomorrow. Good night, Benita. Thank you so much for popping in here. That was 4 minutes ago. I'm always behind reading chats because I'm talking to you all. I'm sewing, trying to make sure I don't have to use my seam ripper, and then trying to get the chat situation here figured out. So I'm always behind. And Eric says, I read that T was in Phoenix. Don't help him. Oh, that is funny. Paula says, was sewing, making hot pads for Christmas gifts. Now, that's pretty cool. I haven't made one Christmas gift. I gave my mother her bag. I told you all that last Saturday. So that's probably the only Christmas gift. So Merry Christmas, Mom, because I don't think I'm going to be making Christmas gifts of any kind. Yeah. So we shall see. And then I'm still 4 minutes behind. What do? I go back to sewing because that's what I like to do. And Darlene says she did buy the Tessa pattern. Yes. And I think this is one that you probably need to purchase because of how it's laid out. It's so detailed and layout. You can't like switch anything around. So I think this is a pattern where I would suggest you buy the pattern. Eric says, no, I just came on and heard about M&Ms and rat. So he did just pop in here. Okay. Sharon says, T, it's good to know I'm not the only one that gets up in the middle of the night and look out the window. If I hear a fire truck, ambulance, or police, yes, I get up for everything. If I hear a neighbor out there talking or arguing or whatever, I'm making sure my part's good, you know? Good grief. Half my hello post didn't show up. That's Susan. Oh, I think you're limited to so many characters in each chat line, but you can keep chatting. I can restrict my chats, but I don't. So you can just keep typing once you're, I think it's 200 characters. Once you use them up, you can keep typing. I would take a rat over a snake any day. Well, that's true if you got to put it like that, but I prefer none. Don says, laughing out loud, rat, you might get your toes. Rat might get your toes. Hope they gave you a discount. They gave a discount, but it wasn't that much of a discount to be dealing with all the things that we had dealt with. And it was so funny because my friend had booked it on, I don't know if it was hotels.com or some other site like that you can get, cheaper rates on hotels. And so then when she went back on the site to give a review about the rat, do you know every time she typed the review and put the rat word in there that they took her review down? They wouldn't even let us give a true review. So when you see reviews on some of these sites, don't believe what the reviews are saying, because those sites are monitoring the comments and they're going to take the most harshest ones off. There was no way they were going to let us sit up there and say that there was rats in the Best Western Hotel. Every time she typed it, it disappeared. Virgie T, when you're going to write the book about your adventures, right? A lot of stuff do happen, and I have adventures right here in my house too. Like I said, I hear everything. So that's awful. A rat in the room. They would have had to give me a discount. Like I said, they gave us a discount, but because we had went through hotels, whatever site it was, we got a discount, but they gave us another slight discount. Because sometimes when you go through those sites, you're getting like at the absolute low price. They should have gave us them rooms for free. That's what should have happened. See, but technically, we never paid the hotel. Somebody else paid that hotel. And those companies are making money too. So ain't no telling what they actually paid for that room. So most of the time I go places now, I don't even try to get a discount on my room unless I'm getting like a AAA discount. I just get my room. So when I have an issue, I don't have to worry about them not wanting to reimburse me funds because it was paid through a third party. And I know I spend more money that way, but that's just how I roll now. I just learn from my experiences. Rather be safe than sorry. I am working, well, sort of. Oh my gosh, that's Eric. I hope you're not working from home. Sue says, went to New York City for a dog show in the early 90s. Hated it. Dirty hotel, rude people. Couldn't wait to get home. And that's the one thing that I figured out. To me, New Yorkers are not rude necessarily. Just in my experiences and how I finally figured it out, because I deemed them rude for 2 days until I figured out most of the time New Yorkers just mind their own business. So they're not in anybody else's business. If you're not talking to them direct, if you're kind of hinting around at maybe trying to ask somebody to help you, but you haven't really asked them to help you, they're going to ignore you. So you've got to be direct when you're talking to them and says, hey, sir, and look them dead in the eye and says, I'm lost. Can you tell me how to get to Chinatown? What bus do I need to take to get to Chinatown? And then I found people were more willing to communicate. I think they have a different way of communicating. That's what I feel. And it's real difficult or very different from somebody that was Southern raised or from the Midwest even. Midwest isn't as nice as the Southerners in my opinion. But New Yorkers, I think they just tend to mind their own business unless they're directly spoken to. So I don't know if that's true for other people, but that's kind of what happened for us. And once I figured that out, my next 2 days in New York went a lot smoother. Ellen talking about if it's a snake in the room, then I'm breaking out. They're going to have to see a real show. Yeah, I can't do snakes. I don't even want to see a garden snake, okay? Hi, Lynette Williams. She says, hey, everyone. Susan says, thanks, T. I don't like rats either. Yes. No parts of that. Let's see. Trying to get a little sewing in, get a few comments. French Seam says, that is so hilarious. Snakes, rats, anything that moves, I'm out of there. Girl, that's what I'm saying. I wanted out of their room that night, but I'm like, I just stayed vigilant. I stayed awake. I made sure every time I heard that little joker that I made some noise because I didn't want him in my luggage. And when we finally, because we had to leave our luggage, and then when they finally gave us our next room, they come sending some porters to move our stuff. Said, we'll move our own stuff. Because what we did was we dumped our suitcases, bags, everything that we had. We dumped on the bed. And we checked our suitcase to make sure the rat wasn't in our suitcase. Because we didn't want to move with the rat, okay? And so, so we put item back in one by one. Nobody. We made stop in Memphis for a night, and the next morning there was a live roach crawling around the kitchen area. We got the room free. I just showed them the picture of our guest. Yes, and that's what I'm saying, and that's the reason why we had, because my friend was not happy with the discount that she got, but I think, again, like I said, we had never paid that hotel. We had paid one of those little services that can get you your hotel room for cheap. And when you do that kind of stuff, you're losing leverage on what you're going to get back because you have not paid that hotel. So, and that's been like maybe 10, 12 years ago that I went to New York. So, I don't know what they're doing now. Things could change. But I'm just telling you what happened in our instance. And my friend, she's a stickler because she even wrote when she got home trying to get more money. And she never got more money. And if she would have gotten money back, she would have told me about it. And she was mad. She was trying to wait before she put it on the site because she was trying to get her money back. Once they weren't giving her money back or another discount, that's when she started going on there trying to do the reviews. And every time she typed something, they about a rat, they took that stuff down. It was on there for about 5 minutes and then it was gone. So don't believe all these reviews you read. Just don't do it. Never did pull row 4 off. So now we're working here. Good night, Maria. Sue says, between the taxis, drivers, and bike delivery people, I was lucky to get home alive. Now, that is, the thing for New York for us, we got a hotel from the airport and a hotel from the airport from the hotel back to the airport. When I go places as a tourist, I tend not to use their transportation. Even when I'm in Chicago, I'll walk or I'm talking about taxis. We just use their L's and stuff like that, their bus systems. When we were in New York, we used the bus systems a lot. They got like those tour bus that you buy a ticket for. You spend at the time, it was about like $25. And then you can take this ticket and you ride this bus for a 24-hour period anywhere you wanted to go. So what we did was we took the bus thing the next day that we got there. and we went to different areas, and then we would get off. Say we were in Chinatown, or we were in the Italian area, and we got off and we kind of toured those particular areas, and then we'd get back on. And then the next day, when after a 20, because if you start at 5 p.m., you go to 5 p.m. the next day. So then whenever that ran out, we just did local bus, because we knew now where we were going and how to get there. And we never did get in another taxi, because that was kind of a waste of time to get into a taxi. You're going to spend a lot of money on the taxis, and you're sitting in traffic, and they scare the bejeebies out of you. I don't know what the bejeebies are, but they do scare them out of you. But yeah. So we used their local transportation, and then we did a whole lot of walking. You need to make sure you got the best shoes ever. We walked a lot. I never walked so much in my life as when I was in New York. Eric says, wait a minute. Paula says, good night, Maria, and I don't like snakes, rats, and New York. That is funny. You either love it or you hate it. And see, I'm a night person, so I love the fact that I could be out in Times Square at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was all those billboards and stuff was out there. I just thought it was really cool. I enjoyed New York. Roach Motel. That's Eric talking to Betsy. um, yeah, that. What's the name of that quilt you're making? The fabric is beautiful. It's by GE Designs. It's on YouTube. It's called Phoenix. She did a sew along last Saturday. You can also download the pattern. So go on YouTube, Google GE Designs, and then Phoenix, and it should come up. And then in the description, she'll give you a link for where you can go buy the pattern. But you can also watch the sew along series on YouTube. She don't normally take them down. So yes, it's a quick pattern. You can use big prints with it, which is really nice. I'm using boundless fabric, and I forget which one this is. I think they just call this or something, and then they just throw whatever in here. But might be blossoms or something like that. I don't know. But it's boundless fabric. And thank you. Only thing I pulled the fat quarter pack. The fat quarter pack has 40 fat quarters in it. 4 of them were stripes, so I pulled the stripes aside because I might use them for binding on either this quilt or the next quilt I make. And then, so I had 18 warm prints, and I had 18 cool prints. So I took all the cool prints out. They're back here. Because I thought I was going to mix them at first. I had pulled 18 cool prints and 18. I pulled some of the cool prints that I thought that I was going to use. But then I didn't even use them. Because I was trying to get stuff that would contrast with my fabric, the blue. Because I wanted to use the blue. And then in the end, I decided not to use them. But I got all 18 of those here. The cool prints. I used 18 warm prints. And then I have 4 prints that were stripes. You see the stripe there? And then this one, the one on front. So I still got 22 fat quarters from that bundle that had 40 fat quarters. Yeah, I thought maybe it had the name on here, but it might be on the salvage that it had the name. Let me see. And we all know that Boundless was crafty, so it just says Boundless on here. It doesn't say anything else. Must have been on a little piece of paper that was on it before I opened it. All right. So She is working on the Phoenix patterns by GE Designs, $10. That's from Betsy. Okay, that explains the title. You all thought I was actually in Phoenix with Tiffany, huh? Sue Baker says, I agree. New York City is not a fun place to travel around. And like I said, I went a few years ago, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything that I did in New York. I went to Ellis Island, Statue of Liberty. We went to some of the churches. My friend she's Catholic, and so we went to a lot of some of the Catholic churches. I love landscaping and building architecture, so it was just nice to walk up and down the street. Went into the Garment District a lot. We did some shopping, but we didn't go like into the actual shopping places. On the day we did the shopping, it rained that day, and we were walking, so we didn't get as far as we would have liked to get on that day. But I enjoyed my time. We did Times Square, but we didn't even do the morning show when they were outside. We didn't even do that. But we did go through Times Square. We went to a lot of stuff. Eric talking about I was finna ask how in the world did she move her sewing room to Arizona? Y'all something else. That's all I got to say. So we want to put 11 onto the bottom of this one. The New York City Christmas tree came from my area this year. They cut it on Thursday, and it's now in Rockefeller Center. Now, that's pretty cool, too. Who is that from? Quote Gal. I'm behind again in comments. Anytime I see that down arrow. Sue knew exactly what you mean. Came home without bejeebies, right? uh, that is funny. You're welcome, Paula. Tiffany says, I think my son CJ is sick. He cleaned his room without me telling him to. Scared the bejeebies out of me just now, right? And when I said the first time I say that to my husband, he just don't. He didn't know much. He had never left the state of Missouri, okay, before he met me. So he was like really in a worse off way. But when I was saying bejeebies, he's like, what is that? I'm like, I can't explain it, but it's not a good thing. It was just something I heard all my life. But it is not a good thing. Quill Gal says, June, it was only 5 miles from me. Do Yoder says, hello from Hollow. I visited New York once, swore I would never return, and I haven't. So many people hate New York. Maybe I was just fortunate that when I went, which was probably like February, March or something like that, because they had the ice rink out there. My friend and I, we tended to normally vacation once a year during that time, because if we went to a hot place, we could get a discount from going in the wintertime as compared to going in the summer months. So we took cruises during that time. We took the one trip I didn't go on, because in February, March, she was going to Colorado, and I'm like, honey, I don't do snow. I got enough snow in Missouri. I'm not doing that. And she's from Missouri, but she lives now in Atlanta. And I'm like, that I am not doing that trip. You on your own. No, I don't go anywhere cold for vacation like that. New York was enough. After New York, she tried to pull, let's go skiing. Missouri is cold enough for me. I was supposed to go to Hawaii with her. She was trying to do we're going to do a cruise, go to, not Hawaii, go to Alaska. And so we were going to do a cruise and go through uh, up into Canada. And she never would like schedule the trip ahead of time because she had a family of 4 she was trying to take, where it's just me. I'm going by myself. And so I wasn't really worried about what it cost. But then she like called me the week before talking about they got the prices down low. You need to go pay for your stuff. And then at that point, I had other stuff on my schedule that I couldn't cancel. Probably was quilt stuff. And so I didn't get to do the Alaska trip. I was really upset about that. It's like I should have just, well, see, she wasn't sure if she was going to go. And I don't like going on trips by myself. And my husband could care less about that kind of stuff. I've taken him to stuff, but he doesn't feel secure going out of the country and stuff like that. Now, he has gone with me to Mexico, and he enjoyed Mexico. But for the most part, I need to go with somebody that's, 2 heads are always better than one in situations. Because my husband, he just not comfortable with that kind of stuff. So need to be somebody that's always constantly thinking. You got to be proactive instead of reactive when you're out the country. So my husband too laxy-daisy for that. I have to have a whole party of people if he's going, not just me and him. I'll go on a cruise because for the most part you can stay controlled in a cruise. But I won't go anywhere in another country by myself with just him. He's dependent on me to do it all, and when I need help, I don't have anybody to bounce ideas off of. So he's just not that type of thinker. Oops, I think I gotta trim that seam. I don't think I did. Nope. I just don't want to get to the iron, and I don't have my. I do have scissors in my iron, but I'd rather snip them now. Hey T and all Teaquilters from Helena Carter. Hi Helena. Shirley Kessinger says hi T and everyone. Hi Shirley, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you popping something in the comment box. It's 9:31 already. Time flies when you're having fun. Darlene says I have to make a trip to New York soon. Not looking forward to it. Now the traffic is awful, but that's why we walked a lot. Yeah, we walked a lot. Joan Elkins says, hi everyone, sitting here working on binding, laughing so much. Keep losing my place. Yes. Y'all in snow country. Yeah, when you go to Colorado, yes, I don't want any parts of that. Eric says, wait, I heard Hawaii. Nope, not Hawaii. I meant Alaska. Robin says, I know, Joan, me too. My aunt lives 1 hour outside of New York City. She says she hates going into the city because it's crazy there. I thought T was in Phoenix or telling us she was moving. That's Joan. No. I don't want to be 120 degrees like Tiffany was talking about this summer. But I don't want any more snow. So it's like I just need to stay my little self in the Midwest. I'm not happy with the fact that we don't have the best sunsets and and sunrises, that kind of stuff. But at least we get all 4 seasons eventually. Sometimes we get them all in one day. And, it's not a good thing. But at least I get to see all 4 seasons. And I'm not super hot and I'm not super cold. Hi, Amelia Rubio. My son went on a retreat with school, and they went to New York City, D.C., Penn, New Jersey, and Delaware. I did that as a teenager. My church did that, and we went to the Liberty Bell as well in Pennsylvania. That was a good trip. It was just that I went when I was about 10 years old, and I didn't really remember all of it. And we visited a lot of churches too. There's some beautiful churches that have been built in this country. And I'm sure other countries have beautiful churches too, but I know I've been to quite a few of them here as well. Sharon Lewis says, I'm going to New York the first week in December to see the Rockettes. I hope my experience will be uneventful. Now, I would love seeing something like that, the Rockettes. I actually went to Branson, Missouri, and they have all kinds of, I'm sure they're not the original Rockettes, but you'd never know it. You still, in order to have that name Rockette, you still got to meet certain caliber of bands. And they were good in Branson, Missouri. Now, I don't even know because it was so long ago that I did that. I actually took the Girl Scouts to Branson, Missouri for a 2-night trip. So I'm not sure if that stuff still exists, but they were good there. They had them there. We happened to see them. So that was good. But I love the Rockettes. And of course, you go to New York so you can see a lot of plays too. We went to a couple of plays while we were there. That's why we were up all night. And then after the plays, we go to one of the, not a club, but like a bar, a restaurant bar type thing. We'll eat and then drink and then go back to the hotel. Go to sleep for a few hours and start over again. And it was just the two of us that went to that, my girlfriend and I. So it was a good trip. I'm laughing at Du Yoder. Somebody, I thought Kevin was your husband. A lot of people do. Only thing I want to do, go to the state of New York for Niagara Falls. Yep. They say it's prettier on the Canada side. Now, I don't know if that's the Canadians um, saying that or if it's true. I have not been to Niagara Falls on either side. So that's something that I do want to do and do both sides on the same trip. So that'll be cool. See, somebody else, Jones, says that too, that need to see it from the Canadian side so much better. Jackie K says, good night all. Need to be up early tomorrow. Good night. That was 4 minutes ago. She's gone. Appreciate you, Jackie. Ellen Campbell saying hi to everybody just coming in. Tiffany is also reminding people, don't forget, if you use Facebook, join the Facebook group for Teaquilts. Please answer the 3 questions to join. So thank you, Tiffany. Okay. I keep going to Facebook because of Tiffany's link. And that is not what I'm trying to do. So. Lynette says, you're talking about Texas. You're guaranteed 10 minutes of weather. You've got whatever you've got for 10 minutes. Then it will change. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Good night, T, and all have to be up early. Good night, Larissa. Take care. Alina says, T, I'm late. Can you tell me what pattern you're working on? GE Designs had a sew along last Saturday on YouTube, so you can Google it. It's just Google GE Designs, and then the pattern is called Phoenix. So add Phoenix, and it'll pop right up for you. She has links for how to buy the pattern. Thank you, Darcy. People are helping as well. Claudette says, I grew up in New York. I turned out okay. Yes, she has turned out okay. I've met Claudette. Claudette is nice. Very nice. And I would have never known that. See? Not all New Yorkers are rough and mean. I think you just have to figure it out. Like when it was raining our last day that we were there, and you put up an umbrella in New York and you're walking the streets. My umbrella got bumped, and the first time I like lost my umbrella because it came out of my hand. You know how when you're holding an umbrella, you're not like, you don't have a death grip on it. And somebody umbrella bumped mine, and that umbrella went flying back down half the block. I had to go get that umbrella because of course I need my umbrella. It's raining. That was funny. I was a little perturbed, but I just understood what was going on. It's a lot of people on this sidewalk, and when you walk past with umbrellas, they're gonna bump. So, New York can seem to be a rude place. I will say that, but I'm one of those people. I guess I just adapt quickly. I adapt to stuff. Keep it moving, because you're not gonna ruin my fun. uh, Paula says, my daughter went to St. John's College in Jamaica, Queens. Met a lot of different people. Yep. Sue says, too bad we don't live closer to you. I would love to travel, and my husband won't go anywhere now either. Yep. It's like my husband didn't even want to go to my nephew's birthday party, and he loves my nephew. And I told him, I said, you know what? You haven't been anywhere. You can go out and do this one thing. Do you know he sat in a chair, and most people already knew that he wasn't coming to any family functions. He had never been out of the house since COVID, like any family stuff. So everybody already knew, because we both have been real funny about COVID. And it was funny because people came and said hi to him as they trickled in, and then everybody kind of left him alone. Nobody was over there. He sat at that table the whole time. He didn't move. He didn't go to the restroom. He didn't do nothing. He come in the house, I gotta go to the restroom. I'm like, okay. But he didn't move at all. And he sat there with his mask on the whole time. I took my mask off to eat. He didn't even eat. He said, no way, Jose. He not getting it. It was kind of funny, though. Sue says, Madison Square Gardens was awful. Super expensive and dirty. We didn't go there. And the funny thing is, we didn't go to the park. We ran out of time because we went to so many other things. We were doing so much stuff, we didn't even get to do the first things you would do. So we missed a couple of things, but I did not go to Madison Square Garden. I don't recall. I'm on my fourth of 6 rows, but I don't have the last 2 done. So I'm almost done sewing, and it's 9:42. So that's a good thing. I stayed caught up today. That's awesome. 3 and 1. And I just toss them to the floor. As soon as I get up, I just take the whole thing and take it back to my bigger ironing surface. And then it's a matter of, do I go there and press? Yeah. And for those that are just coming in, I'll show you the row, this last row, once I get it sewn. But it'll sort of kind of show you what it looks like, but it's a little bit more complex than it looks. It's simple, but it is a little tricky. So I think once I finish with this live, I'm going to go watch the rest of Versailles, I guess. And I might even watch the movie that Becky just watched, Red Notice. If it's not scary. Remember, I don't like horror stuff. So I have to double check on that. Make sure it's not scary. I've been watching a whole lot of period pieces on Netflix. Pieces like Downton Abbey themed or Kings and Queens themes. I like that kind of stuff. Whoops. It seems I'm on the same page as your husband. Mask on until I return home. Yep. Sue says, went to Westminster Dog Show. The reason for the trip, didn't get to go anywhere else. Yeah. Darcy says, my most favorite vacation would be to go see the Great Barrier Reef someday. Sue, my dog went to the show. I didn't. That is funny. That's from the other Sue. Shirley says, I think it was wonky 1/4 inch seam allowance, Tiffany. She's talking to Tiffany. And Paula says, neither do I. Don't like horror. Yeah, because it's like, especially if I'm watching something in the middle of the night, it's like eventually I got to go to bed, and now I'm really tired, and all I got in my head is this image of horror stuff. So I try not to watch that stuff. I watched that stuff as a kid, but not anymore. I don't live with my brother Ray anymore. He was my protector. I think I got one more seam after this one. And then we'll be done. Should be 9 through 11. Yep. And Sue says she's watching Red Notice too. That's cool. T, I have been talking about getting a long school bus to turn into a lifelong suite. And I know she said Ellen's been looking at like nomads who have been doing that type of stuff. But I don't think I'm built to live in my vehicle. I don't care what kind of vehicle it is. Just knowing that I gotta find some place to park it and be safe. And but I do admire the nomads. I actually follow a few of them. I actually follow a couple of Canadian ones. Actually, I actually like the Canadian nomads better than the USA nomads. Our nomads, for the most part, in my opinion, is that they do a whole lot of complaining and begging on YouTube. Um, like if their transmission or something like that goes out, uh, they're like telling their subscribers and asking for GoFundMe help and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, if you've got 100,000 subscribers, you're making plenty of money on YouTube. Go buy your own transmission. You should have a fund if you are on the road like that. You should have a fund for that. And I find that most of the Canadian ones don't do that. So I tend to watch more of the Canadian nomads. I enjoy them a lot better. When Netflix first started, I rented and mailed back DVDs, a lot of Masterpiece Theater, PBS type shows. Then they raised mailing DVDs to get people to stream online. Yeah. I love your colors. Thank you, Shirley. Tiffany was saying that the movie is heck yes, it's great. I find most of the things that I watch on Netflix are great. I haven't watched. I have one that I didn't like, and you all told me I need to go back and rewatch it, and I haven't done that yet because I keep falling into period pieces because that's what they'll recommend since that's what I kind of been watching. But yeah, I do like the majority of the things that I've watched on Netflix. I have nothing negative to say about any of them, and I've watched the series. If they got 10 series, 10 series, maybe 8 to 10 episodes each series, I sit there and watch the whole thing. And mad when I'm done, and the next one is not due out until April through June of next year or something like that. So Darcy says, I'm going to get going, but last reminder, give T your thumbs up. She deserves it. Thank you, Darcy. Good night, and appreciate you in the comments helping. And Tiffany says, I love my main squeeze, Brian Reynolds. I think I still got one last seam. No, I sold it. Ha ha. I can put my scissors up and cut this off. And this is just row 1. So this is just what row 1 looks like. And so you see where this blue is flipping to each side of the print. And that's what happens all the way down. Okay. So that's what I'm sewing. And I just need to pick everything up, and I'll take the tape off the blocks when I get to the press area. Get them folded up now, lift them off the floor. Alrighty. Actually finished my goal on the live, and I still got 2 more rows that I need to lay out, but I didn't have enough floor space, so I still got to take row 4 at least and lay it out and put my last 2 rows down. So I still got piecing to do, but it won't take long, hopefully, when I'm not live and reading comments and chatting. Sue Baker gives a smile to Tiffany about her main squeeze. Paula says, good night, quilters. Stay safe. Good night, Paula. Thank you so much for popping in and being part of the chat. Appreciate it. Cheryl says, had 2 of my grandkids today. That was 8 and 6. Get them acquainted with sewing machines, teaching them how to thread it, and next week learn how to wind the bobbin. Now, that is cool. And that's a good time to teach them. I taught my daughter. She actually put a quilt in the quilt show when she was like 13 to 15, one of those years. I can't remember. And she started a second quilt to make a bed quilt. She did like a wall hanger. And she hasn't even finished that and haven't sewed quilting. She did do some other sewing on clothing. But that's it. Sin Forrest is here. Hi, Sin. Sue says, I agree, T. Take care of yourself. Yep. I'm going to chill. Great job at Teaquilts from Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany. Darlene says, this is beautiful at T. Love the bright colors. Thank you. Pretty block T. I like the quilt also from Maddie and June. June and Maddie respectively. So, yes. So, thank you, guys. Let me see. Betsy sent me a photo of her quilt. Oh! I forgot that you bought those fabrics to do that with when we were in St. Clair. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I love it. Love it, love it. And I love the pop of yellow in there. It's pretty cool. Love it. Thank you. See what else I got up here. Whoops. I came completely out of windows. We don't want to do that. I was just trying to see one thing. um, Ellen says that's going to be a beautiful, colorful quilt. Saying good night, everyone. Good night, Ellen. Thank you so much. So much fun tonight from Sue. And the other Sue Baker says, can't wait to see this quilt when you're finished. Yes. And Deborah Brown says, good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you so much as well. A lot of people saying good night. So Cheryl Knuckles says, I told him they don't have to do quilting. They can do other things. Want to learn how to sew. Yeah, that's pretty cool because even, like pressing, that's a big help when you're like piecing. Like if I was doing this with a teammate, I could have been just sewing my sashings and somebody else is pressing the sashing. So it's certain things that you can teach them and teach them to do them well. They'll be a big help. They don't have to even touch the sewing machine. It's great. It's great. And good night to everybody leaving. And Melissa LePage came in and go, oh, it's Saturday. Hi, Melissa. Yeah. I haven't even drank any of this water. And I needed it too. Ugh. Maddie says I couldn't talk and sew. That's what a lot of people say. Kevin said he don't even know how I do all this. Recording, trying to pay attention to the camera, talking, sewing, trying to make sure your pieces are together right so you're not ripping. Every once in a while I sew something wrong, but most of the time I'm okay. And Cian's telling Melissa, you're not alone. Yeah, she just came in a few minutes before you. So I don't have anything else to add. I'm trying to make sure I don't have anything else. Sewing chat was reminding me I need to go live. I don't need to upload nothing to OneDrive. Okay. And so, yeah, I think I'm done. I don't have any. Some of us can't walk and chew gum. I do understand. That is funny. Tiffany says, I talk and sew, but I do get distracted easily. Yes, and that's my thing. It's like I am easily distracted, even when I'm doing, especially when I'm doing something repetitive, because I'll just go off in la la land and just stop thinking about what I'm doing and doing something crazy, Like that one time I sewed some stuff together and I sewed the same fabric. I was sewing on these, sewing my blocks. And I think I was sewing on them doing the Zoom. And I was sewing the same fabric together, the same fabric I just cut apart. I was just sewing the pieces back together. It was like, what is wrong with you? Melissa says the replay will keep me company while I clean the kitchen. And that's what I got to go do now. I had to heat the soup up, and then I made Sam's Club sells honey butter. And what I do is I melted the butter in a skillet, and I dip my bread into the melted butter, and then you take it and you toast it. Is what I do with it. You can make grilled cheese sandwiches with it. They say you can even put a teaspoon in coffee. You can use it on waffles, whatever you want to use. This it's basically a jazzed up butter. And if you don't have that, I make my own homemade kind by just using regular butter, and then I would just sprinkle cinnamon and sugar mix on top of the wet butter, and then you toast it. That's some good bread. But this honey butter is really good. So I served that today. Them girls love that. That was really good. I got that pan to clean up. I got the skillet from that to clean up, the pot. I used a few utensils, and I got a couple bowls. So yeah, I got stuff I gotta go in there and clean up. I'm not happy about that. So I gotta clean that up because my husband was nice and cleaned it up before I started cooking. So I got to go clean it up now. That's the other thing I gotta do. And I don't like washing dishes either. When I was a kid, we washed dishes for a whole week straight. That's just how we planned it out. And when you got 8 siblings, or 8 of you, not 8 siblings, I had 7 siblings. But when it's 8 of you, and and then we were so stupid, we would invite friends over to eat. Like my mom didn't, 8 people, feeding 8 people wasn't enough for her. We invite our friends over too. It was a lot of dishes, okay? And there was no dishwasher. You were the dishwasher. So I do not like washing dishes, and I don't like dusting. Good night, Sue. She says, good night, all fun night, even though I was late. I appreciate that. We're going to be getting off here in a few seconds. Sin says, sorry I was late, but it was fun. We're a fun group. Thank you, Miss T. Thank you, Sin. I appreciate you popping in no matter what time you pop in. Darlene says, yes, this is a fun group. My screen is frozen, but the chat is running. It sure is strange, yeah. But we're going to get off of here. It's 10. We're going to go ahead and end, guys. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all on Wednesday. I don't know what the agenda's going to be. I got another lecture on Tuesday. I also have a class on Wednesday. So I'll probably just come in here and just be chatting because I'm probably going to be done. And I'm going to be working on retreat and bus stuff on Monday. So I'm not going to have any time to come up with anything good. So I'll just see you all then. So you all take care. Be safe. Stay blessed and quilt out, everybody.